Well, hi, here we are. We are ready to begin a brand new process in how our church is going to go forward. This is an exciting time, and I hope that you can be excited with me as we set off on a brand new beginning for Armor of Light Baptist Church. And so what I have right now for you is I have 7 key aspects I want to go over with you, and hoping that if you can gain an understanding of what this is, you'll know really well where we're headed for the future. So whether you want to be involved in a leadership position within the ministry of the church or behind the scenes, there are some things that we've got to understand together that will put us on the same page together so that God can take us as a unified body into a direction He desires for us. So are you ready to begin? Here we go. The very first thing that we need to have an understanding of is our ministry motto. Our ministry motto that we've shared several times, and it goes like this: grace for the glory of man, demonstrated by greatness for His ultimate glory. The motto is grace for the glory of man, demonstrated by greatness for His ultimate glory. Now, I'm not going to explain what that all means right now, but you're going to need to understand what that means before you get involved in ministry. So if you're not sure what that means, if you've not heard me talk about it before, then by all means, I want to invite you to search me out, to get an understanding, and make sure that that quote is something that you're able to accept, to follow, and to repeat, and to give a clear understanding. Number 2, we need to have an understanding of the 4 guiding principles. I shared this last week with the church. 4 guiding principles. I'm going to share what they are. I'm not going to define them in detail. I'm going to do that throughout the month of July. And so if you're here in July, you'll hear me preach about these things in more detail. If you cannot be here, you are welcome to search me out, and we'll go over these things together one-on-one. But the first guiding principle of our church goes like this: there should be no contradictions in our value system. No contradictions in our value system. Principle number 2, we will elect the best possibility no matter what the price. We will elect the best possibility no matter what the price. Principle number 3, we will pursue redemptive individuality at every level. We will pursue redemptive individuality at every level. And guiding principle number 4, we shall acquaint a faith. Acquaint a faith, or be familiar with a faith that is presently productive, prosperous, and worthwhile. We will acquaint a faith that is presently prosperous, productive, and worthwhile. These are principles that I would love to have you at least gain a good basic understanding of, because those are going to guide us into the future and how we handle ourselves with other people. All right, so now we're going to move on to another category. Category number 3, in which I have 3 questions for you. Question number 1. Are you living the life that you desire to be living right now? Are you living the life that you desire to be living right now, presently speaking? Oh, it might not be the ideal life. It might not be the ideal goal yet, but you are where you believe that you ought to be in life. This is where you are right now. Do you see yourself living the life that you desire to be living for the sake of where you're headed in life? Second question, do you like who you are? Do you like who you are? Do you find yourself acceptable to yourself? If you don't like yourself, it makes it really hard to go forward in life in a lot of ways. So do you like yourself? Do you like who you are right now? I mean, I know the process isn't done. We all have a ways to go. But where you are right now in life, do you like yourself? Do you accept yourself? Do you have a healthy view of who you are? Third question. The third question is, do you anticipate good things to come? Do you anticipate good things to come? Do you have an optimistic outlook upon the future of your life and also upon the future of our church? Do you see things? Do you see things with great anticipation and expectation of God's blessing? Now, if you could answer yes to these questions, that you do like where you are right now in life, that you like yourself and you anticipate good things for yourself, if you can answer yes, it'll allow you to become freer to invest in the lives of other people, to invest in the lives of other people. And it'll give you a peace minus the drama that comes from having a restless life. Also a peace that would eliminate a critical, complaining spirit in our lives. So if you could answer yes to those questions, and your words and your actions back up that yes, well, we are definitely on our way then when it comes to where we're headed with our church. All right, that was number 3. Number 4, there's 3 aspects to number 4. Number 4, you must be able to enjoy the moment. To enjoy the moment, to be an enjoyable person. To be an enjoyable person, to be enjoyable by others in the moment, indicates a person's level of adaptability, of patience, and their current level of personal discipline. A joyful person who enjoys the moment, a person who enjoys other people, who other people find enjoyable, it indicates a person who has adaptability, a person who is able to be patient with other people, a person who has personal discipline. Oh yeah, this is very important. And now the second thing under this category is we must have a healthy sense of humor. A healthy sense of humor, able to laugh with others and to laugh at yourself. A healthy humor. A good humor allows for a free-flowing, creative imagination. A good humor allows for a free-flowing, creative imagination and also a willingness to hear the ideas of others. And the third thing under this category, and the most important, is we must have a heart that's touched by kindness. A heart that is touched by kindness. When anyone whose heart is touched by kindness, they're able to or have a spirit that's able to comprehend the value of other people. If your heart is touched by kindness, then you possess a spirit that is able to comprehend the value of other people. If we don't have a kind spirit, we cannot see the value of other people, and therefore ministry doesn't become an option. Okay, now, under the 5th aspect of what we're going to talk about, we're getting almost done. Number 5 is this. You are not a messenger of a message. Like if you're preaching or you're singing, whatever you're doing in ministry, many times we see it as if we're a messenger of a message, but that's not the case here. You're not a messenger of a message. Your life is the message. Your life is on display when it comes to ministry. And to remember that, it's my life that is the message. It's not just what I'm talking about. It's not my presentation. It's not what I'm teaching or singing about. It is what I'm about that carries the strength and the authenticity behind the message that I want to bring. And so it's important for us to have a life that actually has specific, determined dreams and goals that you are pursuing beyond the ministry here. It's already happening so that your message is in full production in your life as you communicate the message. It's in full production in your life. You're not just living an acceptable life, you're living an incredible life. This produces an atmosphere of expansion into the hearts of others that you're ministering to. It provides an atmosphere of expansion into the lives of other people that you're ministering to. That was number 5. Number 6, so this is a tough one. This is the toughest of all them all. Number 6 is this. I'm getting older. Time is of the essence. And because there's a lot that I still want to accomplish, there's a lot to get done. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time. And because of that need to get things done in a timely fashion, I'm not willing to lead and go forward with people in ministry. I'm talking about, working in ministry with people that are difficult, people that are dull, or people that are not willing to adapt new ideas. I say this with love and I say this in a good heart. But I'm not willing. As pastor, I have to lead the church. As pastor, I'm going to incorporate these principles into our lives. As the pastor, I'm responsible. But I can't do this with difficult people, or with people that have a dull spirit, or with people that will not adapt themselves to new ideas. And new ideas. We're not going to let go of the doctrines that we hold on to that are dear in our lives, the foundation for the church. But we are going to incorporate a way in which to minister these things that are more effective and more relevant to today. Are you willing to adapt yourself to new ideas without being difficult and have an exciting, enthusiastic spirit and not dull? Because time is of the essence. And so, if you're difficult, if you're dull, or you can't adapt well, these things have to be worked out first before we plug you in. Now the last, seventh aspect of ministry is this. If you find anything that I've said so far to be kind of, I want to do these things, but I can't measure up to what you're expecting. These things I just can't do it. I don't like myself, or I don't like where my life is right now, or I'm working on being kind, but I struggle with that, whatever it may be. Well, the seventh principle is so key then for this. And it goes like this. We need to change our personal view of what life in Christ looks like. We need to change our personal view of what life in Christ looks like. Let the things we talked about be part of all things are become new. I'm a new creature in Christ. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. How do I adapt these things into my life? You adapt these things into your life by changing your personal faith or your personal view of who you are in Christ. I tell you, if you can recognize the things we talked about as being part of who Jesus Christ is, and if we can declare that Jesus Christ is our life, and that all things are become new in Christ, and I can embrace that truth about who he is, then I can embrace the truth about who I am and what the purpose is of the church that he promises to build through you, through the Christ in you. So the bottom line to this is if your perspective is filled with hope, optimism, passion, and enthusiasm because of your faith in Christ, then no matter where you are and all that I talked about, if you have that much going on, in my relationship with Christ, I have hope, I have optimism, I have passion, I have enthusiasm. I might not be there yet, but I'm going after it. It's my desire. It's what I want to plug into. Then you're in. Then you're in. So the last thing we're going to do with all that we just said is I really want to know what your takeaway is from all of this. What's your takeaway? Consider everything we said, all 7 principles. Listen to this video again. Get a hold of that. Then let me know your takeaway, because that will be the determining factor. My desire is that we all can plug in. We all go forward, but we all go forward united with the same mind. Okay? Thank you so much for taking the time to hear this and with a desire to be part of the future of Armor Light Baptist Church. We will talk more about this